'Tis the daughters of Columbia pleading for the right.
Her Story, an Oregon perspective on the women's suffrage movement, was a very timely display that was put up at the Tillamook County Pioneer Museum the end of February and launched with a gala reception as a fundraiser for Tides of Change. Then we were all faced with the closures of public buildings and the coronavirus situation, and the Tillamook County Pioneer got in touch with the Pioneer Museum and suggested that we do a virtual tour of Her Story.
Not an idle murmur, you who hear the cry. 'Tis a plea for human freedom.
The 19th Amendment was passed in the United States Senate on June 14, 1919. It had to be ratified by 2/3 of the states. Within 2 weeks, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, Kansas, and Ohio had voted to ratify. By March of 1920, 35 states had ratified the amendment. There was one state left to go. Most of the southern states had rejected the amendment, leaving only Tennessee as the last hope.
Oh, our country, glorious nation, greatest of them all. Give unto thy daughters justice, or thy pride will fall.
It was thought that Tennessee would reject it as well. The deciding vote came down to one man, 23-year-old Representative Harry T. Byrne. He was leaning against ratification until he received an 8-page letter from his mother, urging him to hurrah and vote for suffrage. Don't keep them in doubt. The amendment was ratified on August 18th.
Hark the sound of myriad voices rising in their might. 'Tis the daughters of Columbia pleading for the right. Raise the flag and plant the standard, wave the signal still. Brothers, we must share your freedom. Help us and we will. Think it not an idle murmur, you who hear the cry. 'Tis a plea for human freedom, hallowed liberty. Raise the flag and plant the standard, wave the signal still.
And here is a poem by Paul Ann Peterson, Oregon Poet Laureate Emerita. Your namesake school, for Abigail Scott Duniway, Oregon's mother of the women's suffrage movement. For decades, each election day, streams of neighborhood women stepped through the soaring archway that bears your name carved into its stone. To the precinct worker waiting at the end of a gleaming linoleum hallway, each proclaimed aloud her name last and first, then signed it into the poll book. Taking her ballot to a makeshift booth, she inked her choices. September to June, on weekday mornings, dozens of neighborhood girls have passed through this same doorway, clutching their lunch sacks and worksheets. They've clambered towards the classroom where a carefully hand-printed name has marked each girl's desk as her own. There, they've learned to read and write, growing toward being the women worthy of their right to vote. Each woman, each girl, every she who has ever come into this place did so by entering under the legacy of your name. For them, for us all, you opened the way. So we hope that you are able to enjoy this virtual tour of Her Story, an Oregon perspective on the women's suffrage movement that is now featured at the gallery at the Tillamook County Pioneer Museum.
Like be free. Raise the flag and plant the standard, wave the signal still. Brothers, we must share your freedom. Help us and we